Hey everyone, this is Process Camilla here. This is not going to be like a normal video. Today I am going to be explaining the many drafts of my movie, The Chosen One. But without further ado, let's begin with the first draft. At first I struggled to come up with an antagonist for the movie, until I came up with Teos. Teos' name came after... what's it called? It came from a Super Smash Bros. Brawl mod. Well, it's called Teos Mario, but the E is replaced with an I for his name to prevent similarities. Teos was originally going to be like a dark cloud, storm cloud monster thingy, but he was changed to a cosmonoid instead, for the secondary draft of course. Presley and Destiny's conflict was going to be way different than we'll get in the final version, which is still in the works. They would have been in a theater until Presley hears a baby crying and suddenly snaps at it, causing the entire audience to gasp. And because of this, both Presley and Destiny are escorted out of the building as well. A massive fight between the two starts, before Presley snaps at Destiny and zooms off in a fit of anger. However, I wanted Presley to be a much more kinder character, or at least lighthearted, to say the least. But looking at characters such as Poe and Tondro, his personality was changed because no one likes a mean-spirited protagonist, am I right? Right? Okay, I'll go. Titan was going to appear in a post-credits scene as the main antagonist for the sequel. But of course, he wound up being scrapped altogether as well. It's because he's just not much of a threat. I thought of saving him for at least a series or something. So just like that, he was removed. A corporation called Neo was going to capture Presley and take him in for some experimentation, but I thought it would be too basic, so Neo was scrapped. Not to mention it would have been kind of dark, so I'm kind of glad I removed it. When Tian Hao was first created, he was originally going to be a rival for Presley himself. However, when Flare and Fenra were created, alongside Caterpillar of course, he was changed. Not to mention he was also originally Geki's right-hand man. That was also changed as well, for the secondary draft. When Flare was created, he was originally going to be Teos' servant, before unfortunately having his neck snapped. But of course, his design was way too heroic to be a villain, so he was changed to be a hero instead. Speaking of the secondary draft, let's get to it, shall we? This draft came close to being the final product for the movie. Most of the characters' voices are just done with text-to-speech programs, mainly Haruto, Rai, and Destiny, and this one Darkhoon monk that is seen at the beginning. One of my friends also voiced Presley's uncle, but Presley's uncle was removed from the movie. And the characters also have voices now. Presley is voiced by me, of course. I'm pulling off a mighty bass plate on y'all. Anyway, Tian Hao is voiced by Genre Productions, or known by his real name, George. Flare was voiced by Sam Studios. Fenra was voiced by Sanjo, a former friend of mine who did some controversy, which caused her to be fired from the project. And Geki was voiced by Mr. Cody Productions, whose account sadly got terminated, so I couldn't get the chance for him to redo newer lines. So the reason why I gave up on this secondary draft is because of my old phone, well, acting all crappy, and then it just gave up. And because of that, I have to begin a new draft altogether. And this also means changing up the cast a bit. Although the secondary draft is still on my old account, you can still give it a watch. Hopefully I don't have to worry about changing the drafts anymore. This final version of the movie takes inspiration from Kung Fu Panda, as well as several other anime such as Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, and somewhat influenced by indie shows such as Murder Drones. It will also have newer actors as well. Richie will replace Sanja as the voice for Fenra. Ernesto Garcia will replace Cody after his account got terminated, as mentioned before. And Destiny will be voiced by a newer cast member, Rihanna Delian. As for the others, such as Presley, Tien, and several others, their voice will stay the same. However, Tios, Haruto, and Rai will not speak throughout the movie. Anyways, that's all for today. I'll see you guys later.